I will not be shaken by the storm. I will not be overwhelmed by fear. I am your child, and I have what you have promised. You have fought my battles and you have won them. You go before me, you're not against me. You are for me, and I am yours. Defined by my past, and I will not be chained by the lies. I am your child, and I have what you have promised. 'Cause you have fought my battles and you have won them. You go before me, you're not against me. 'Cause you are for me, and I am yours. You go before me, you're not against me. 'Cause you are for me, and I am yours. Fear can't hold me back. I stand upon your word, and words can't bring me down. I know that I am yours. I know that I am yours. Fear can't hold me back. I stand upon your word. Words can't bring me down. I know that I am yours. I know that I am yours. You go before me, you're not against me. 'Cause you are for me, and I am yours. You go before me, you're not against me. 'Cause you are for me, and I am yours.
Welcome to the Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions podcast with Brent and Jody Bailey. We are growing our circles of connections and knowledge together with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jody welcome
worship leader and songwriter Roy Brock.
and now Brent and Jody Bailey.
Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. It's Friday. I hope you're having a great day, ready for the weekend. Man, what a great series of shows we've had all week. Jody did a great job with our guests earlier this week, Julie Beamer and Debbie Keener, and we've got another great show for you today. I have worship leader and songwriter Roy Brock on the program with us today, and we've known Roy for a long time. Right now, heading over to the tech booth, and Jody is flying solo over there today.
I am flying
Yeah,
solo.
but I'm glad to see that you're doing okay over there.
I am.
Are you lonely because we don't have Preston?
Oh,
or?
I just dry my tears. I'm good.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I know that when we do this show, we have only done a handful where it's just been me and you. It's
Yeah.
usually got we've got Luke was
have
there for a
Luke,
long
yes.
time, and now we're getting into the kids getting into the
Yes.
act, and so anyway, with that being said, we need you all to just go away for a few minutes because me and Jody are alone. So. All right. So what's going on? What's going on today? Yeah, right. What's going on today?
Well, let's get it started off with a food thing.
All right. What is
okay?
it? What's the?
National Cherry Cheesecake Day?
Ooh, what a great thing to celebrate on Friday.
Yeah, National Cherry Cheesecake Day.
Yeah.
I mean, the plan, the eating plan that we are on.
Yeah.
But I believe there's probably a way to make that. I mean, cherries are probably not on the plan, but you could just
I bet there
improvise.
is. When
Yes.
we found the recipe for some kind of caramel apple.
Yes, and I have yet to make it.
So there probably is some kind of
I
hybrid
know that
version.
I
of
know
that
that
out
there
there.
is a cheesecake
Wow.
hybrid version
Yeah.
because I've seen it on their website. But yeah, I mean cheesecake. So and then the crust can be made out of the nut thins that we love eating. So
Okay,
so,
yeah, I could
so
see maybe
this is
possible.
For all. National Cherry
If
Cheesecake
anybody,
Day.
yeah, if Dr. Sherwood or anybody from the staff's watching, let us know if there is some
Yeah.
kind of
Are we leading people astray?
Yeah,
Saying
right.
those that are trying to watch the
cherry
way and get
cheesecake's good
healthy.
stuff anyway. So
To go along with that, it's also National Picnic Day. So you can go to the
Awesome.
park, a park, and take your cheesecake with you and enjoy it.
now that's something that we can do. We can take a picnic. We
Yeah.
can go do that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And we can take our healthy food. So National Picnic
Yeah, I was
Day.
gonna say we could do that.
And
so.
it is the weekend, and so I mean, if the weather is nice, it's been raining a lot this week for us. But
Yeah.
maybe where you're at, it's better. And go ahead and have a picnic. Take your kids, take a football, do whatever you want to do. Have a picnic. So
Take
and
some
then
ant spray so
Yeah,
that you don't have
yes.
the Tom and Jerry thing where the ants come in and carry your whole.
they carry like the
Uh-huh.
sausage, like the long string. Yeah.
Yep.
Now it's also National Lost Dogs Awareness Day. So when you go to the picnic,
What?
keep an eye on your dogs.
People lose their dog. Wait a minute. People lose their dogs?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Be aware of that. Now, do you recall a time that we lost a dog when your parents were out of town one time? When we lived
Okay,
in
let
Kentucky.
me say this.
When
We
we first
didn't
got
lose
married.
the dogs. The dogs broke out.
That is true. Now,
These are Rottweilers that weighed
Rottweilers.
over 100 pounds, and
Exactly.
they broke through the fence and
They
got
did.
loose. Thank God they got into somebody's cow pen.
yes.
And when they got in the cow pen, they couldn't get out.
No.
So they were just stuck out there in the. Now I will say this: we were babysitting,
We were babysitting or
Dog
sitting
sitting.
the dogs.
and my parents were in Gatlinburg,
Yeah. Why didn't
Tennessee.
we go with them? They didn't invite us.
and so when I had to call and tell them that the dogs had got out, they immediately got up and drove 5 hours home, and got home by the time the sun got up.
Yeah.
Come up and found the dogs out in the cow pen,
Yeah.
which we drove all over the
I
place
was going to
looking
say
for
all
'em.
night we were driving looking for the dogs.
But we didn't go to look in somebody else's cow pen. So
Yeah.
anyway,
So the last
Fun
thing I
times.
have
Go ahead.
is National Take a Chance Day. And so if there's something that you've been wanting to do, but you're just maybe
Yeah.
too much of a risk, take a chance. I mean, obviously, for me, I wouldn't be like, oh, go skydiving. No, I'm not taking a chance with that.
no, I'm not doing that.
But I mean, take a chance. There was a song in the 80s, Take
yeah,
a Chance.
take a chance on me.
Okay, there was that one, but Take a Chance on Love, or anyway, I
It
can't
should
remember.
be easy to see.
So take a chance
Oh, you're
today.
ignoring me.
I'm not ignoring you.
Okay.
Okay, you have anything? We always look up weird, interesting.
I would
stories.
say that there is a. It's not good news. It's kind of
Oh.
scary. A guy bought a bag of pre-bagged lettuce, which we're going through like
We're going through bags of lettuce like crazy.
socks. I mean, it's just like we're going through bags of lettuce like because we eat a lot of salad,
Yeah.
a lot of vegetables with it. This guy bought pre-bagged salads at Aldi's, which we love Aldi's,
Yes.
and he found an Australian venomous snake.
Oh
one of them
my
little
gosh.
ones, inside that. So
Well,
yeah, that's a little scary.
sorry. You should
Yeah.
have mentioned the store.
Anyway, well, no. It brings up a good point. We should always be checking and washing and
We should,
before
absolutely.
you just rip something open, especially something that's been, because
Yeah.
Aldi is based in Australia, so, and that's where all the venomous snakes live, or a lot of them.
Oh my gosh.
Be careful if you buy your food at Aldi or anywhere, Trader Joe's, any of those kind of places. Be careful before you just rip into it, and yeah. So, anyway.
Anyway, nice story.
All right, that's what's going on around the world. We got a great interview with Roy Brock coming up, so let's expand your search. My guest today is Roy Brock. He is a graduate of Rhema Bible College. He's also a graduate of the Rhema School of Worship. He is a talented, anointed worship leader from the home of the syrup, Cairo, Georgia. Since graduating from Rhema, he fulfills the call to traveling the nation, leading people to experience all that God has created us for, and that's to worship the Father. Roy has traveled to over 38 states, multiple countries, all leading worship while he's doing it. Roy is currently involved in leading worship for churches, youth camps, and church conferences nationwide. He's a funny guy, outgoing, and loves meeting all kinds of new people. He has a new album that is dropped just recently. It is called Something in the Waiting. It is available on all streaming platforms. And I have known this guy for a while. I've been to his home church, and I actually had him as a student when I was a Bible school professor myself. Please welcome to the program one of the bestest of the best, the goodest old guys in the world. Please welcome our good friend Roy Brock to the program. Roy, what's up, buddy? How are you?
What's up, Brent? I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing really good. First of all, thanks for coming and being on the show. Congratulations on the new project.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and I'm excited for this project.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a minute. Let's talk a little bit about what you've been doing for the last year. I know that a lot of folks that we have on that do travel, and you're just like the rest of them. I have myself been extremely impressed at how often you are out and traveling and going at so many places. But during the last year, it's been crazy. It has been just an unusual turn it upside down. How did that affect you? Were you affected like many of the other traveling ministers?
Oh yeah. So as soon as COVID pretty much hit, I actually had a lot of things scheduled, and so I think it was actually March 15th was my last service that I did, and then till the end of July. And so I didn't travel any. It's probably the most I've been at home since I lived here when I was a kid.
Yeah,
probably.
And so I know that you probably had to fill that time doing something. What did you end up doing?
Yeah, so I actually painted houses. I did a lot of painting last summer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to hear you say that part. But I've talked to folks like Andrew Ironside and other folks, and they took to driving Uber, and they just whatever they could do because the market had dried up so much for traveling ministers. Since you started back, how's it been going?
It's been great. So far this year, I've only had one Sunday off, which is a good thing. Also, I'm ready for a little break, but it's been very, very good, very good.
Well, that's going to lead us into kind of. I know that it's become kind of a trend lately to have guest worship leaders come into the people's churches. How did you get started doing that? I knew you when you were at Rhema
Right.
as a student, and you were kind of. It almost sounded like at that time, like, okay, he's dreaming.
Yeah.
Who's going to just bring in a worship guy? I mean, if I'm going to bring you in, you're going to preach and you're going to do,
Right.
leadership training with my staff and everything. And
Right.
how did you get started doing that? What was the selling point for you to bring in, people to bring you in just to do worship?
So actually, it really started off with there was just a worship pastor that was going on vacation, and he called me and he said, "Hey, bro, would you mind coming leading worship for me on Sunday? I'm going to be out on vacation." And I was like, "Sure, I'd love to." And at that time, I was in Tulsa, and I think actually it wasn't even a far drive or anything. And so that's how it all began. I just was a fill-in for a worship pastor that went on vacation, and then that kind of started happening more and more. Then I picked up summer camps and different conferences like around the Midwest. Even did a summer camp over in Virginia while I lived in Tulsa. So essentially,
Actually, I think we did that camp together. Do you remember that? We did do that camp together.
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we did one of those camps together. So that's essentially how it all started, man. Because obviously, I was originally just a drummer. I was just a drummer, man.
I
I didn't
forgot
even
that
sit-
you were a drummer. That's right.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't really start singing until like 2008, 2009, something like that. So and I just picked up the guitar and started singing some, and started from the bottom, really, literally just, hey, I'll come volunteer and lead worship for you.
Yeah. You come from kind of a musical family. I know your mom is
Yeah.
involved in worship at the church that you grew up in. Your sister Marshall, who was on staff with us for a while, she's musical and sings as well. It's kind of running in your blood. I forgot that you were just a drummer though, and that you just started picking up the guitar since then. That's amazing. Okay. We're going to turn the corner a little bit here and talk about your new project, because I'll be honest with you, when you had the last one come out, I was so the duet that you did with your sister, I was so blown away by that actually became one of like my top 5.
I will not be shaken by the storm. I will not be overwhelmed by fear. I am your child, and I have what you have promised. You have fought my battles and you have won them. You go before me, you're not against me. You are for me, and I am yours.
That I was listening to on a regular basis. It was so good. And not that I'm surprised that you wouldn't do something good, because
Right.
you have it put into you. But what is that process like of starting and writing and then recording? Walk us through a project like that.
So we'll talk about that song that you're talking about. The song that you're talking about is "Go Before Me," and I released it, I believe 2019 as a single with my sister, which that song is on the new project. But actually that course I got out of, I was doing a worship night in Auburn, Alabama, and I just started singing it out. And I was like, I leaned over to the guy playing bass for me and I said, "Bro, take your phone out, record this." And so he recorded it. And then I just had it in my phone for a good while. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to that song. And so I was on an airplane, and I kept listening to it over and over. And I was like, you know what? I think I got some verses for this, that for something that I had written previously before, that was just in my notes in my phone. And I said, well, I'm going to try to put this together. And then when I get off the airplane, I'll play it and see if it happens, see if it works. So I did that, and it worked. It worked. Obviously, I had to change a few things, and then the bridge is actually what March wrote. My sister March, she wrote that, and she calls me one day. She goes, "Dude, I wrote this. I don't know if it's like a chorus or bridge." She was like, I was driving the other day and I got this, and she's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, and that would work perfect with this song I've been working on. And then, I got this song. It all started like the summer of 2018, and I didn't finish it for at least a whole year. The song I just kept building upon it. Okay, this works. That doesn't work. Oh man, this sounds really good. And then when March brought that bridge, it was like just the cherry on top. It was the finisher.
Now, before we get to the rest of the new project, I noticed when I was listening to that one, You Go Before Me, I was so moved by the impact and the depth of the lyrics. It wasn't. Now I may upset people by saying this, but it's my show. I don't care. I know that some people, some of the worship that I listen to today is so wordy, but it's not saying anything. It's like
Right.
all these words are crammed into but they're not saying anything. Yours was so concise and to the point, and yet it didn't hold anything back. It didn't hold back anything from the true heart of who God is. And I know there's a couple places where it's just pure scripture. I mean, you're just
Right.
and you're just singing it. What is it about today's music that is causing people to? Is it because there's pressure there and they're trying to crank something out, or what? Because there's a lot of wordy songs that don't say anything, but then you have a word coming through your song that is short, quick, concise, to the point, and doesn't lose anything. What do you think that is?
Yeah. So I think sometimes we lose the fact of, like, because we're all creative, so we try to. I think sometimes we try to do like this imagery of like we talk about how like just for instance, Jesus, we love you. Like a lot of times we try to take that from a creative standpoint, like, well, we've said Jesus, we love you like a billion times, so let's try to reword it and do different things. And sometimes I just feel like we've lost the simplicity of just simply taking the scripture and put a melody to it and then simply just sing to the Father. And like Go Before Me, the song talks about we won't be defined by our past. We won't be defined by things that we've done, because we have a God that goes before us and he loves us, and we're his children. Like we are his. And so I think sometimes we just lose the simplicity and try to fit in kind of what's the cool thing. I mean,
Yeah.
Essentially speaking. Now there are some great songs out there today.
Sure. Not knocking anything that's out there.
Right.
It is
right.
good. Yeah.
But there are some. I agree, man. There's like some wordy songs, and that could be good for certain areas. But to me, in like a worship set, it's kind of hard to sing, a verse that has like 1,000 words, it seems like. And the thing I love
Exactly.
about simplicity is, like, in what I try to do when I write is, if you've never heard my song, by the end of it, you're going to know it,
Yep.
because it's so simple that, hey, we're just talking simple terms, what the Bible says, and just simple songs to Jesus is kind of what I strive to do.
Yeah. And I was hearing a lot of declaration in your song too. I will not
Right.
be, shaped by my past. I will not. And you just kept saying that throughout, especially that first verse. That's something you don't hear a lot of anymore. I know that we both come out of a Word of Faith background where you do
Right.
have a lot of declaring, but that's also something that's been missed. And David did that throughout the whole Psalms. He declared all
Yeah.
kinds of things about the Lord.
Yeah, very true. Now it seems like these days it's all about, I'm dealing with this. I have this. I'm doing this. It's like, God, come help me with this, instead of, hey, let's just declare that, like, his promises are true. His promises are yes and amen. So
Yeah.
all we have to do is just declare what has already been said.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about the whole new project. I know that we talked about this one song, but listen, you've got several on this new project. It is available everywhere. All the streaming platforms. I'm assuming it's on iTunes and Google Play and all those kind of places. If you want to download it on Amazon Music, all that. There it is, Something in the Waiting. Now, that's going to, I'll just say, just by the title, that's a hot button issue because a lot of people don't like the wait.
Right.
So tell us about that song.
So Something in the Waiting, ironically, obviously no one knew at the beginning of 2020 that we were going to enter into a global pandemic.
Yeah.
But I actually had that phrase, Something in the Waiting, and I got it in like the end of January. And I was like, oh man, that'd be a really cool song. I did. So I put it in my notes in my phone. And then I think it was like the end of March. And it's really funny because I have a really good friend, actually a mutual friend that we know, Isaiah Robinson. He's out in Seattle, and Isaiah calls me. He goes, "Bro, I got this message called Something in the Waiting." I was like, "Dude, no way!" I literally just wrote this down in my phone like 2 weeks ago, as a song idea, and then I probably a couple weeks later, I was like thinking of like what's some things that is in the waiting. Well, there's faith in the waiting. There's strength in the waiting. There's power. There's hope. There's healing. And there's joy. A lot of times we don't see it, but there are those things in the waiting. And so that's essentially what the chorus says. And then obviously we went through a whole pandemic where everybody had to wait. All we had to do was sit and wait. That's the only thing we were able to do. And so I actually I started recording the album in September of last year, and I was like, I really want this song on the album, and I want it to be the title track, but I hadn't finished it. I'm talking about we're talking. I started recording it like the end of September, and I have not finished this song. And one day I just sat down and I was like, I want to finish it, and man, I'm talking about. Usually this doesn't happen, but the lyrics to this song just started flowing. And like in the waiting season, there's a God that goes before us. There's a God that's fighting for us. Yes, he knows the reason. He knows the why. We don't always see it, but he knows.
Yeah.
And then I love the bridge part. It was like, while we wait with you, we know we'll see like the breakthrough that we've been waiting for this entire time. So it was really cool how that song even came about. I mean, obviously it started way before anyone knew there was a pandemic, and we had nothing but waiting time. Yeah. And then it turned into, man, like, okay, this is an anthem that I feel like a lot of people have really already dealt with. Like, I've actually already had a couple stories. People came in and was like, man, you don't know, like we've been waiting for this certain particular thing in our life, and we still have not seen it come to pass. But when we heard this song, it was like, there's hope. There's hope for us in our waiting. Yeah. Even though we have to wait, there's something still there.
That's so awesome. I love when God does stuff like that and speaks to you so plainly like that. It's just so awesome. We're going to throw it up on the screen one more time. This is Roy's new project. It's called Something in the Waiting. It is available everywhere. If you'd like to follow Roy, he is on Roy Brock Music on Instagram. Folks, this is the real deal right here. It's Roy is a worshiper that loves God first and worships him and leads other people from a place that he's experiencing himself. Listen, Roy, we couldn't be prouder of you and happy for you. And I know that we've been talking a little bit about you doing some guest worshiping at Direction Church. Yes. And we're looking forward to having you and hosting you with that. Before we let you go, the one song, the first song on the CD is called, tell me again,
From Your Love.
From Your Love.
Yep.
And that's the one that Roy's really, we let that play before the show started. If you'd like to get a copy of it again, you can go on wherever you get your music from, you can go and get it. iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon, it's everywhere. And then of course, if you like to stream, it's on all those as well. Great job, man. Proud of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. If you'd like to get a hold of Roy, do we have another info slide? No, it's just that one. Okay, so it's at Roy Brock Music on Instagram, and he would love to come to your church and be a guest worshiper or for your event. He's outstanding. I personally recommend him. He is somebody that will really do your event good. All right, Roy, have a great rest of your day. Everybody, let's stop for directions. Waiting. It's not a place that people like to be. I could tell you some funny stories about doctors' waiting rooms and other things in our life where me or my family were waiting on something. And these stories would not only make you feel cringy, but they would also make you see the hilarity that comes over us in the waiting. The point is, during a time of waiting, the world around us and seemingly time itself slows down. And it seems that we have to wait forever. It's in this time that we couldn't think of anything better than opening our hearts and spending some time with God. When things are moving slower, wouldn't that seem to fix the time issue that many people have when it comes to spending time with God? This is something that is happening in the waiting, and that's what Roy has tapped into. When things have slowed down and it seems like you're stuck, that's the perfect time to take your eyes off of what you're waiting for and turn your eyes to the Lord. David said in Psalms chapter 46, verse 10, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth." If you turn on the TV right now, you see plenty of people waiting on things to get better. We've been waiting. But the question here before us today is, have we capitalized on the waiting and purposed in our hearts that He is God and we are the ones who must exalt Him? Well, you still have time. The situations in our lives can all need improving. So why not lift your voice and be the one who will exalt the Lord that you know in this nation? It's that time that His power goes to work in your life. That's going to wrap it up for the show today. My thanks to Roy Brock and his brand new project, There's Something in the Waiting. It's available now on all streaming platforms. I want to thank Jody for a great show today. Next, we have more great, encouraging conversations and positive communications coming up for you. Until then, I hope you found what you were looking for as you took the time to expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @ExpandingYourSearch on Facebook and Instagram and @ExpandingSearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search